Hi, welcome to my unboxing video for the podcast microphone at Way Public Library. Way Public Library in Perrysburg, Ohio has this lovely Beyond Books collection where there's a whole collection of items that you can check out as if they were a book, a video, or something else. It's wonderful. If you did not catch my podcast episode about that on the Perrysburg podcast, that is episode 131, and you can find that on perrysburgpodcast.com. At this time, I should probably introduce myself. Hi, I'm Kim Newlove. I host the Perrysburg podcast. The artwork's right there. You can find it at perrysburgpodcast.com. It is a resource for the Perrysburg community. We talk about what's in Perrysburg and why people like to live here. I also host a pharmacy-related podcast. It is called The Pharmacist's Voice Podcast. You can find it at thepharmacist'svoice.com. You hit the podcast tab and then find whatever episode you're interested in. I have 366 episodes of the Pharmacist's Voice Podcast, and I have 132 episodes of the Perrysburg Podcast. I've been podcasting since 2019. I've published approximately 500 episodes across both shows. And I probably have 10 microphones here at this house. You kind of accumulate them when you're a podcaster. So I'm interested in seeing what's in this box, and let's get started, shall we? When I checked this out, of course, they gave me this tag on here, and it says included in this set are a microphone, a pop filter, a detachable mic stand and base, a USB cable, a carrying case, and instructions. I'll tell you something. I tried to open this earlier, and it's a little bit of a puzzle itself. So if you unclick these, so you move these little ends out, then you can open the box, except this ring's in the way. So I did get that far. There you go. You have to remove the ring and the tag in order to access the box. Inside the box, let's see what we got. Instructions falling out. Starts with page 2, ends with page 15, instructions. I see it's got a what's in this box, okay? But I also found out by looking on the back of this tag here. I'm going to set that aside so I don't mess with it. All right. The list I already read to you mentioned a pop filter. This is a pop filter. It attaches to a stand. And this is basically kind of like pantyhose material. And what it does is it stops your breath from getting onto the microphone. It might stop some of those popping P type sounds, as I call them, the breath from your consonants, like a P or a B or a K. It will stop that breath from getting on the mic. I can probably do it on this one. If I say happy peanut butter, happy peanut butter, and I'm right on the microphone straight on, it might pick up the breath from the P or the B and be annoying. I happen to move my microphone at an angle from my face, so I don't typically have that problem. If you're a fist distance away or one hang loose away from a microphone, you tend not to have that problem. And you almost don't, I don't use a pop filter, as you can see. I use a windscreen just to keep my spit off the microphone. As long as you have the microphone at an angle from your face, I don't think you need this, but it is in the box. Pop filter, there you go. This is the cable that connects the microphone to the computer. This is the base that was mentioned in the packing instructions there. And there's the stem for the microphone stand. Here's the microphone itself. There are two sides to it. It's important to know which side to speak into. It's going to be the side with the volume knob. There's a volume knob. It's kind of probably hard to see from where you're at, but it looks like a circle, and it's got a line, and I would just put it right in the middle at 12 o'clock high, kind of like a clock there, and set it and forget it. You can certainly play with it once you have it plugged in to see how you sound. We'll talk about that in a little bit. On the opposite side, you've got a hole for a headphone jack. Okay? You can stick that in there like that. All right. Again, talk into the side that's got the volume knob and point it at 12 o'clock high. There we go. Now I would say let's assemble this. Now you are welcome to look through all these instructions. I've been using microphones for years, And I would say I actually know how to use this one. I'm going to start with the base and the stem here. I screwed it in. All right, and it's not very tall. Not every microphone stand needs to be as tall as this one. And you'll see some threads at the base of the microphone. So at the base. So righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, right? Totally unthread this ring. See, there's a ring. Okay, and you're going to put it under. Hopefully you can see this, under. And you're going to just rethread the microphone, and it'll sit real nice inside this stand. This appears to be a condenser microphone. I didn't read the directions yet to see, but I'm pretty sure it's a condenser microphone, which means it will pick up background noise. This is a dynamic microphone, and it only pretty much picks up the sound, I would say, within 2 feet. Anything that will be in the background is going to have to be pretty loud to get picked up, and even then it's not going to be very loud. So if a jet flies overhead, you might hear a rumble, but it's not going to be as annoying with this one as it will be with this one. This one picks up a lot of sound in the surrounding area. Now, as you can tell, I have secured the ring to the threads on the microphone, and you can move it whatever direction you want to, but I would suggest leaving it, perpendicular like this. I believe it's set up like that in the picture. Should look pretty much exactly like that. And I would, again, put that volume knob at 12 o'clock high. And you're all set up. I am not going to use this pop filter because I just personally don't think I need to use it. I know how to adjust my mouth so that it's in the right position in relation to the microphone so that I don't get those nasty popping sounds. Okay. I have a cable, and there are 2 ends, obviously. There's a USB end that's going to look really familiar because I think in the last 10 years, a lot of us have used USB devices. But then there's a USB-A end. Clearly, the USB is going to go into the computer, and I'm pointing that way because my computer's across from me. But then you've got the USB-A, and you're going to put it in there. It's kind of like a puzzle. Just, match it up. And there you've got the microphone connected to the cable. Okay. And I think we're at the point where we're going to have to connect the USB to the computer. But I'm going to add one step that's not in the directions here or on this label. I'm going to add something that's not pictured. This is a USB to USB-C adapter. And I don't have any USB slots on my MacBook Air, which I'm recording on right now. So I'm going to connect them. Boom. There we go. Now that that's connected, I am going to turn this off and switch to this microphone. But real quick, before I do that, I want to tell you what equipment I'm actually using here, just in case you're curious. This microphone is called a Samson Q2U microphone. That's S-A-M-S-O-N, Samson, the letter Q, the number 2, and the letter U. Samson Q2U. That's how we say it, Samson Q2U. And then also I've got it on the XLR setting, which means I am not connected, my microphone is not connected to the computer that I'm recording this on using a USB cable. It's actually connected using an audio interface. There is a red box down here, and you can kind of see the light blinking as I talk. This is a Focusrite Scarlett Solo XLR microphone audio interface. So for short, just call it an audio interface. It's a Focusrite Scarlett Solo audio interface, and it only has one input here. So I have one microphone plugged into it, and then over here, I have room for headphones to go in there. But this one also accepts an instrument, a single instrument, whether it's a guitar or a piano. And there's also a headphone jack here, so you can insert headphones in there. You can't use just any headphones. You need to have headphones that allow you to use a TRS adapter. And TRS stands for tip, ring, sleeve. There's a tip, obviously there, and there's a ring. There's actually two of them on this. And then there's a sleeve, meaning the length of this 1 inch length. So it's tip, ring, sleeve, TRS adapter. You have to screw it on here. And again, you can't do this with just any headphones because you need to have a headphone jack that has the screws, the threads on it. If you don't have headphones with threads, you can't use the adapter. And if you can't use the adapter, it won't fit in this box. Now I have attached some Sennheiser HD400 Pro headphones. These are open back headphones. I have an embarrassing problem where if I can't hear myself, I talk louder. And when I'm podcasting, I don't wear headphones because I don't need to hear myself. I can already hear myself. And I just listen to the playback and edit that. So in-person podcasting, I do not wear headphones. It's when I have remote interviews or I'm doing a mic check and I have something that I must listen to. That's just me. Every podcaster is different. So that's a little bit about my equipment. Again, this is a Samson Q2U microphone. We've got a Focusrite Scarlett Solo audio interface with a single input for an XLR microphone. And we've got the Sennheiser HD400 Pro headphones. I know that's a lot to take in, a lot of nerdy stuff. At this time, I'm going to stop the video and I am going to hook up this microphone so you can see how that sounds. Welcome back. At this time, I have switched to this FIFINE Technologies microphone. I've got it at a little bit of an angle towards my face, maybe just a little bit. It's mostly straight up and down. And I have the volume at 12 o'clock high. Okay. You may have to tighten it to make it stay where you want it to. But even though it's not up high at the level of my mouth, I trust that this is picking up just fine. I think that's all there is to it. I would use this microphone for podcasting, YouTube videos. Obviously, I'm using it to make a YouTube video right now, and maybe an online meeting too. But the important thing that I would tell you, if you're not used to using microphones, is that you need to tell your computer to use this microphone. You need to go into your sound settings and choose this USB microphone. And those directions are actually in here. So if you don't know how to do that, you don't know what it looks like on a PC or a Mac, go ahead and read the directions. It is in there. And if you want to listen with headphones, because maybe you're in an online meeting or a remote podcast interview, then it would be helpful for you to understand how to change your output too. So the input is the microphone. Make sure your input is set as this USB microphone. And then if you would like to listen with headphones, just make sure that your output, it may actually be this USB device. Okay, if you're plugged in, I should probably show you that real quick. If you take off the TRS adapter and you've just got the regular headphone jack, you plug it in, but just because you plug it in does not mean that your computer knows that you want to listen to these headphones through this microphone. So make sure that your output is also set as this microphone. Otherwise, if you have a headphone jack in your computer, and I'm pointing over here because that's my computer that's recording this, then you plug it into the headphone jack on your computer. Just whatever you do, play with the settings before you need to use them and make sure that everything's cool. For example, if you would like to phone a friend and ask them to practice with you, that's a really great idea, and do it before you need to. There's some other information in this information packet about using the microphone. I'm just going to give you some, I guess, mic check best practices. I would make sure that the microphone is a fist distance, meaning one fist distance or one hang loose from your mouth. So one fist or one hang loose away from your mouth. And that should give you a good sound. And this is a condenser microphone. So if somebody's going to be going up and down the stairs or walking around above you, or maybe you've got a dryer in the basement below you, this microphone could pick up that sound. This picks up more sound than this. This is called a dynamic microphone. I don't mean to give you too much terminology, but this is the type of microphone that it's more sensitive. Let's just put it like that. And I think that's all I have to say. This microphone, I would say it's legit. I probably sound pretty good on it. And if you have any questions, then I would definitely check this out. ChatGPT is your friend. I think you can still Google stuff like that. And for me, I don't think you need this pop filter. My breath is going straight out here. It's not going directly on this microphone. I don't think I'm popping my P's, so to speak. I don't think my consonants sound bad. I would be surprised if they do. I own like 10 microphones. This is very much like my Audio-Technica 2035. It's a condenser mic also. And I don't even use a pop filter because I know how to position it. Now, for hygiene reasons, you may want to use a pop filter if you're a very spitty person. But otherwise, I would say it is unnecessary to use that pop filter. I'm hoping I didn't forget anything. Now you know what's in this box. You know it's a legit microphone. You know what an experienced microphone user sounds like on this microphone. I would recommend it. You can check it out from the Beyond Books collection at Way Public Library. I am not compensated in any way for doing this unboxing video. I just felt like showing you what was in the box. I was personally interested in this item because I am a podcaster. And if they're going to have a podcast mic at the Way Public Library, I just want to know if it's any good. In case anybody says, hey, Kim, have you ever used the microphone at Way Public Library? Now I can say, yes, I have. Thanks for joining me for this unboxing video. Again, I'm Kim Newlove. If you would like, check out the Perrysburg podcast or the Pharmacist's Voice podcast. Again, the websites are perrysburgpodcast.com and thepharmacistsvoice.com. That's all I've got for you. Have a great day. Bye.